All right, man, you're ready to go.
Welcome to Race Time Radio. You'll hear from the best in Canadian U.S. racing this week. Grab a cold one and stick around.
All right, you're good. I got a car in the wall on 3.
The starter tower has signaled. We're ready to roll. It's Race Time Radio, and it starts right now. Here's your host, Joe Chisholm.
Everybody have a safe one. Keep her in one piece.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Race Time Radio, all live tonight on SiriusXM Channel 167 Canada Talks. Of course, live on our YouTube channel as well, RaceTimeRadioTV. You can check that out. And welcome to all the Rev TV viewers right across the country. Let me tell you who we got coming on the show tonight. Of course, I'm flying solo once again here in the Race Time Radio studio. Junior is on his way back from Motorama. What a great car show. I'll get to that in just a moment. But let me tell you who we got coming on the show tonight. We've got an action-packed lineup for you. First up off the show, going to be in about 10, 15 minutes or so, Austin McDonald, driver of the number 13 for King Racing out of Nova Scotia. Yeah, he was on the racetrack this weekend. He got in the first season opener of the CARSTour Late Model Tour. The 13, Austin McDonald, down there doing a great job. He had his ups and his downs, so to speak, in the race just yesterday. But we're going to catch up with Austin live tonight on the show. And he'll get us right through the day. And we'll also find out what his plans are. I think he's going to stay down south for a lot of the season. But I imagine we'll see him up on this side of the border at some point. We will ask Austin himself. Coming up after Austin McDonald, still in hour number 1, we're going to check in with a young New Brunswick driver. This guy was actually a special request from a viewer on Rev TV. He texted in and said, "Hey, Joe, can you get Logan Power on the show? He's a young phenom out this way, and he does a real good job behind the wheel." And I can just imagine it's going to get real busy for him with the announcement of the Deluxe Street Stocks, part of the Mass Tour. And I would imagine Logan is going to run that. But we'll ask Logan here tonight what his plan is officially. I want to say we had Logan on the show. It's got to be either 2 or 3 years ago. Tim Terrier was doing a race live. I want to say it was at Petty International Raceway, and Logan was in a modified, I do believe, and he ended up winning that day. Tim Terry hooked us up with Logan right away, and we had him on the program. It was, I can remember bits and pieces of it, but I'm looking forward to getting Logan on the show here tonight. Be a lot of fun. Coming up in hour number 2 to kick the hour off, Jerry Paxton. Of course, we all know Jerry from all the live Race Time Radio broadcasts that we've done over the years. Jerry has been very instrumental in all of our live race coverage. He, along with his son, of course, Josh. Josh has been another integral part of our live broadcasts. And Brad Mann, you'll remember him from out on Canada's East Coast. Brad jumps in and always part of our shows. Junior has stepped in over the course of time, and we've had a lot of broadcasters, but those are the cornerstones, and definitely Gerry Paxton is one of those cornerstones, and one of the first guys I called up when I said, look, Race Time Radio is going to develop a live crew to go to the track and do live flag-to-flag coverage on radio. And Gerry Paxton said, man, I'm in. No, I love to do that. And he was a longtime announcer at Flamborough Speedway. I'm talking decades. And Jerry was looking, for something a little different to do, of course. And he joined the Race Time Radio broadcast crew, and the rest is history, so to speak. But we're going to check in with Mr. Gerry Paxton tonight. Good friend and one whale of a broadcaster. You'll enjoy it. If you've never met Jerry, tonight's the night. We'll also, in hour number 2, get off to Canada's West Coast. If you joined us last week, you'll remember that Trevor Siebert joined the show talking the Western Rattler 300, and dropped a bombshell right here on our very show. He announced that the Western Rattler now isn't going to pay $10,000 to win anymore. No. It's up to $20,000 to pay the Western Rattler 300 that comes up May 5th and 6th at Penticton Speedway. He also announced another element to the actual weekend that was really kind of cool. The WESCAR series. They're a late model series that runs out in BC. You can catch them at all the local racetracks out that way. WESCAR is slightly less of a car than what you'll see in a pro late model. You know, you see the 42 Kyle Reed roll in, or, the number 12, I'll say. You get the number 12. Matt Shirley. Look at my brain. Matt Shirley, he rolls in. He's got a true blue pro late model. And not all the cars in this country are a true pro late model. And WESCAR sort of fits that bill. Now, the upper echelon of the WESCAR series can compete with a pro late model all day long if they're allowed to lighten up. And that's really what the plan is now, is for WESCAR to participate on Friday night. They are going to run the Snakebite 125, which will be a huge race. It'll be a points race for WESCAR. But in saying that, the top three from the Snakebite 125 will now qualify for the Western Rattler 300 come Saturday. They'll be able to lighten their cars up. They'll be able to move the weight around. They'll be able to do different things that the pro late models, of course, are allowed to do. So it may not fit the whole field to go into the Western Rattler 300. Some of the older cars just cannot drop the weight off just like that, whereas some of the newer generation ones haven't got a problem at all in dropping the weight. So we're going to catch up tonight with Keenan Mayert. He is going to join the show from BC. He is part of WESCAR, and he's going to shed some more light on those WESCAR competitors, and we will definitely catch up with Keenan in hour number 2. Look forward to it. So back to what I was talking about before. The Motorama car show. Man, what a car show. Greg McPherson and his whole staff at Inside Track Motorsport News, they went above and beyond. Man, you can tell the pandemic is sort of behind us now. You can still get sick, so you got to make sure you get your shots and do all the right things. But for all intents and purposes, it's in the background. And it was really, really nice to see. I left here early on Saturday morning, jumped aboard my Race Time Radio truck, and struck off down to Toronto. It's about a 250-mile return trip for me. When I go down to Toronto, I'm back up to the Race Time Radio studio. But, man, I'll tell you what, I was really excited to get down there and get into the racing corral, go around and see people that I haven't seen in years. It's been a long time. The pandemic really messed a lot of stuff up, including the Motorama show. Well, it affected all of our lives, right? So, but I get down to Motorama. First thing I notice when I get to Motorama, it's lined up. People are lined up to get in. And it was so nice to see. So great to see the lineups and to see it back to the way it was in the glory days. If it wasn't glory days, it was darn close to it. And it really felt good. So going through building number 1, some of the custom cars I seen, unbelievable. Just take your breath away. Some of these cars, they got to be worth $200,000-$300,000, and their whole destiny in life was to be put together and to be shown the way they were shown at Motorama. And man, I'll tell you what, there's some beautiful hardware there in building number 1. Then you work your way into building number 2. And, of course, building number 2 was absolutely jammed with everything short track racing, drag racing. If it had a motor and 4 wheels and a driver behind the wheel, It was in building, too. And, man, I'll tell you what, I was so excited. I made my way over to the two-speed booth. That's where Joe Jr., of course, was hanging out. He works for Two Speed. They were all set up at the show, and they had launched a whole pile of products. And got over there, said hi to Junior, set my my knapsack down, and I pulled out the video camera. And, of course, this video part to Race Time Radio and to me is all brand new, right? So I was excited. I was kind of nervous. I did a bunch of testing on Friday before Saturday just to make sure I sort of had my ducks in a row, and we were going to get you some pictures and everything else. Well, I had a brainstorm. On Saturday morning, just before I left, I thought, man, you know, if I take my microphone and I'm looking at the side of the new cameras, and I went, hey, I could take my microphone and plug it into the microphone input on the side of that camera, put an extension on it, and, man, that should work out really good. It'll take the ambient sound away. You know, when you're in a big hall like that and there's thousands of people in there, you get a lot of ambient noise, and you doing an interview, you kind of want to be right up on somebody. But in the same regard, the camera has to be back far enough so that you can get the shot. So anyway, I take my camera, I take my microphone, I grab an extension here in the Race Time Radio studio, pack it all up, head down the road, get to Motorama, excited as all get out, pull out the stuff. I plug the microphone in, I'm looking at the screen, and sure enough, on the screen it comes up, and it's identifying the external microphone. So I went, bang on, this is going to work, this is going to work real good. So then I started doing interviews, and I got through, quite a few. I bet you I talked to a good 10, 15 different competitors, racetrack owners, the gambit. I wanted to get the listeners, the viewers, a real good cross-section of what was at Motorama from a short-track Canadian perspective, and pretty happy. I checked the video quality. All the video clips were like beautiful, beautiful things. Got back here to the Race Time Radio studio last night around, I don't know, give or take 9 o'clock or so. Pretty happy. Got home, said to Sue, man, I got some beautiful stuff for us to work with. Made my way downstairs. Couldn't wait to unload and download everything. I did, and not one word, not one piece of audio, none of it turned out. The pictures are phenomenal. The audio was non-existent. So something either bad in the cords, something bad in the microphone, something bad in the camera. I don't know at this particular point. I was so dejected. Call it a rookie move, if you will. But I can honestly say you got to live to learn. And I definitely learned a pile yesterday. Should have had the audio stuff set up on the side like I normally would with radio, and let the video camera do what it does best and take pictures, and then marry the audio with the video when I got home. I didn't do that. I thought I'd outsmart it. I thought I was, getting pretty big for my britches. But to say the least, I do have some beautiful stuff for us to look at. So what do you say we go do that now? Sue compiled a little bit of a list of the different competitors I caught up with. And one of those guys, of course, was Kyle Steckley. He drives the number 22 in the APC series. We've seen him in the NASCAR Pinty series. You'll see me talking with Kyle now on screen. And Kyle is going to do the full APC, and he's also going to do some NASCAR Pinty, so watch out for him. Corey McAllister, of course, owns two-speed Calicut. He's got the 72 car, 71, sorry, and he's going to run the OSS. You're going to see him in the Quick Fire Starter division. He is also going to be participating. Caught up with young Jake Spencer Walt. He was the Sunset Speedway Junior Late Model champion. And young Jake, what a card. Just a great kid. And you'll hear more from him on Race Time Radio. Of course, Leaf Racewear set up at the show. Caught up with Colin, and you can see the fire suits in behind us, some beautiful stuff. And We'll hear more from Cullen as time goes on. JP, Peterborough Speedway, the third Canada's fastest third miles all ready to go. And, of course, JP, he also races the late model. He's going to head down south in like a week. So we'll hear from JP real soon. Full Throttle Motor Speedway was at the show, and I caught up with Paul Trepanier in his booth. And how about the number 72 of Junior Farley? He's got his APC car ready to go. PV Mart on that race car. Hey, that's provincial sponsorship, if you will, on that 72. Junior going to do a big thing in 2023, and we'll hear lots from him on Race Time. Also went over to the Sunset Speedway display, and I caught up with Brian Todish. Got a great interview with Brian. Too bad you can't hear it. We will check in with Brian Todish and get him on this show. I had a good discussion with Brian, and Sunset Speedway ready to go. Of course, NASCAR all back on board there, and things looking real good at Sunset Speedway. Over to the APC booth and Delaware Speedway, and who do I catch up with? But Dave Gainforth, Oscar. He's the man responsible for the Oscar Hot Rods and the modifieds. We're going to hear from Dave lots on the show. Jake Spencer-Walt, his dad is Rick Spencer-Walt, driver in the number 31 in that APC series, and he's a tall cat. Look at the size difference between me and Ricky. Last year, you remember, he had a bad knee, hurt it doing some wave running. His legs doing a whole lot better, looking to win a lot of races. I moved over into the compound part of it, and I caught up with Garrett Temiersma, driver of the number 17 car. What a beautiful machine. He is totally geared up and ready to go for a full season in the Quick Fire Starters series, Street Stock, or the Quick series, Super Stock. He's going to do a fantastic job. And then my final interview was with John Caselli. Love John, known him for absolutely ever in this industry. And John Caselli, they just don't make him any better than John. And caught up with him, and he's got a lot happening. You know, we've got the Gold Rush coming. The Bill Zardo Memorial Race. John was actually choked up. Good friends with Bill Zardo forever. He was choked up talking about Bill Zardo, and you can hear the emotion in his voice. And that race is going to mean a lot. Oscar has also got a big race lined up for the Bill Zardo Memorial, and so does Sunset Speedway. He's going to be honored every which way that you can think of this year, and rightfully so. Bill Zardo was a good friend of Race Time Radio. He's a good friend of mine, man. I think back to my younger days in the sport, watching that number 46Z car go. He was a big guy on both sides of the border. Ran ACT for a lot of years, and just somewhat of a super dude. And he will be missed. Great to see that he lived out his dream, though, turning 80 and then still winning races in that Oscar Hot Rod, in that 46 car. But we're going to hit a very, very quick break. And when we come back, I can see Austin McDonald is lined up on the Zoom line, and we're going to get to Austin on the other side of the break. Stay
Host. You're listening to Canada Talks.
Race Time Radio is brought to you by RPM Race Parts. Order today, race tomorrow. Also by VP Race Fuels, the worldwide leader in race fuel technology. And by Dawson Dental Centers. Get your victory lane smile at dawsondental.ca. It's Canada's kickoff to 2023 at Penticton Speedway. It's the second annual Western Rattler 300 weekend.
If you build it, they will come.
Friday, May 5th, it's qualifying, plus the Street Stock Viper 100 and the WESCAR Snakebite 125. The top three will qualify and move on to the 300. Then Saturday, May 6th, it's the 300 Last Chance Qualifier. plus the Street Stock Venom 100 and the second annual Western Rattler 300. It's Canada's richest to win pro late model event, with $20,000 to the winner. For tickets and info, get to PentictonSpeedway.com or tune in live on Racetime Radio for live flag-to-flag coverage.
Riley Siebert, the winner. This is my own, not coming here to push me around, and this is probably the biggest win of my career.
May 5th and 6th, the best in the business will be at Penticton Speedway at the Western Rattler 300.
When you think NASCAR, think SiriusXM NASCAR Radio.
This may be the most important thing that's ever happened.
You're damn right, baby.
The races.
The Daytona 500 win.
I love that we have playoff racing now.
The talk shows.
We'd love for you guys to participate as well.
The unprecedented access.
Well, I'm here at the red carpet with the fans.
SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90.
Chastain did a video game move.
Also streaming on the SXM app.
I think they're happy down here.
Even though Napa is a nationally known name, nearly all of our stores are built from the ground up by local owners and families. People you might call neighbors will be here, there, and everywhere, doing what neighbors do to keep their communities moving forward. Stop by a Napa Auto Parts store. You can count on Napa know-how.
Tonight's Racetime Radio is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts Stores, New Glasgow, Antigonish, and Port Hawkesbury, Nova Scotia. You can count on Napa know-how.
AP Race Fuels, the worldwide leader in race fuel technology.
Nothing connects like country music. Country music. Dig in to SiriusXM's Country Universe. The next generation on the highway, Channel 56.
I need something you.
This millennium's hits on Y2 Country, Channel 61. Or 80s and 90s prime country on Channel 58.
Play me some mountain.
Tap into these and more in the country category on the SXM app, included with all trials and popular plans.
A Canadian that made an indelible mark across the world, Alex Trebek is best known as the host of Jeopardy, a show he hosted over 6,300 times since his debut in 1984. Alex won 5 Emmy Awards over that stretch and is still perhaps the most popular game show host of all time. His work with charities such as World Vision was tireless, and his foundation continues to benefit children across the globe. Alex Trebek, 2006 inductee on Canada's Walk of Fame.
Taking you all the way to the track and back. It's Racetime Radio.
And back with you live tonight on SiriusXM Channel 167 Canada Talks. So glad you could tune in tonight. Did you watch the CARSTour season opener? Well, I'll tell you what, this next guest, not only did he watch the CARSTour, he was in it. He was in it, and he got a super finish with the 13 car for King Racing. He is from Nova Scotia, but you never know it. The guy's looking and running more American as you'll all get out. Let's welcome him in. What's going on tonight there, Mr. Austin McDonald, number 13? How are you?
I'm doing good, Joe. How are you?
Fantastic, my friend. Let's go through that season opener. Not the result you wanted. I know you wanted to be in victory lane. That's the kind of guy you are. But nevertheless, you had a decent run. There was a lot of heavy hardware behind you at the end of that one, buddy.
Yeah, it was a really good race. I was surprised. I mean, the pro car count was really good. We had 23 cars for that race, which was pretty good for that tour. I mean, last year we struggled a little bit. So this year with the new ownership of the tour and just everybody that's new in it, and it's just such a well-run program that I think everything together just brought those cars. And we had a couple past guys come down, too, that raced. I mean, Mike won it. So, I mean, congratulations to him, first of all. He did a super job. I wish I could keep up with him that race, but I just we missed it a little bit. We had a good, strong car in the race. I mean, we started 11th. Or started 13th, sorry. We missed it a little bit in qualifying, but we were able to drive our way up to 6th. We were passing for 4th, actually, and a caution came out, and we got hung on the outside, and that track, Southern National, is probably about one of the worst tracks for outside groove. I had guys come from 13th, 14th to finish in the top 3, so, like, it's just crazy how that happens, but...
Oh, you get on some wild racetracks down there. Make no mistake. There's character-filled spots. There's nice, easy, flowing racetracks. Which one sort of suits you the best, Austin? Because I know you've been down there running and CARSTour racing for a bit.
I think there's two that we ran really strong at last year, and that was Caraway, which we ran 2 races there last year and finished 3rd. Then we won our last race there. And South Boston is very, very cool. It's high banked and just really fast. It has a lot of grip, so it's so smooth too, right? I don't know, it brings a different characteristic to anything I raced on before. So we finished 3rd in that race, but had a shot at the win too. And I don't know, we run, I think, close to 7 or 8 different tracks on the series this year, and I have 0 complaints about any of them. They're all just super cool, and they're all so different too, right?
Oh, yeah.
You have to go into each race with a different mindset and what you're going to do. Like this race, for example, it was all about saving tires for me. Like, since we qualified 13th, we decided just to race 12th, 13th, 11th in that early 35-lap, 40-lap stage break. And I think it helped us in the end, where we did have a little bit of tire left, but just is so line sensitive there that if you get in the wrong line, it just made me feel like I was super speedway racing, you know? You're in that one line and it's not going, and then you get frustrated up there. But I finally know how everybody feels at Daytona, I guess.
Well, you're going to learn soon enough, Austin. I can guarantee it. That seems to be where you're heading, is into the heavy hardware. Is that what you aspire? Is that why you're, putting the eggs all in that basket and you're down there down south and running the series you're running?
I think I definitely like to see the opportunity happen sometime, even if it's just to get into ARCA or something like that and run a few races, get our feet wet and see how we can do. I mean, I grew up around it. I mean, that everybody that really knows me that I started at, I think, age 9, age 10 in Bandoleros, and then jumped to legend cars, and now this. So it's a family thing for me. And I mean, me, and I can't even say anybody in my family that's not included. Like, I got to give it all to my grandfather, Rolly, and my parents both, for just allowing me to be on the road. I mean, we're driving home right now. We're probably in Maine somewhere, I think, just in Augusta, right? Yeah. So it's part of the family, and I wouldn't want to do anything else with my time right now.
Well, and that Rolly that Austin referred to, yes, is the iconic Rolly MacDonald from Canada's East Coast. Your grandfather ever run on all those tracks? Is that why, he said, okay, Austin, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get you down there. You got to see this place, this place, this place.
He's run more on some of the past races that we run. I know he ran the Busch Car at New Hampshire a couple years ago, and then we ran it, in 2019 and 2021. No, sorry, 2022 last year, and it was more the northern races that we kind of work with him, and he has experience. I mean, I remember the first time I went to New Hampshire, and he took me out on the racetrack, and we did a walk around, and he showed me kind of how to run it and stuff like that. I don't think he ran a lot down south, but he still likes to come on the track with us too. And I mean, he gives such good feedback to me. And that's the other thing. I have great guys around me this year too. We switched to Fab Specialties and Matt Drake for this year as a crew chief. And we had a couple of great guys on the weekend. Greg was helping us, and Tilly. I mean, just really good guys. And this is the first time I've ever worked with them. We had an experienced spotter to help us out, Tony Arnold. He's new this year. So this race to me was really just a kind of a starter for us to work together as a team and work out all the kinks. And I think we worked very well together. And I mean, we're all not happy with the result at the end, but just happy with how we ran and worked together as a team.
Yeah, not bad for race number 1. Everybody getting together. That is really, really cool. You alluded to it off the start of the interview today, Austin, and if you're just tuned in, this is Austin McDonald with us. He drives the number 13. He is from Nova Scotia, but he is running that CARSTour down south. And, of course, there was big news about, a month ago, where Dale Jr. bought in, Kevin Harvick, I want to say Burton was another one that bought in, and there was a 4th Cup guy that stepped in and bought in.
That was Justin Marks.
Justin. Yeah. Can you feel the difference in the series now that these guys have jumped in with what was already a successful CARSTour? Can you feel any difference with the input of these guys?
I think there's definitely some added support now. The nice thing is that they still left Jack McNally and Keely Dubinsky and Peyton, all of them, in charge of the daily operations, and they still run it at the track. So that's really nice to have them as they were last year and everything. because they know so much about the tour and about the people that run it that and they make you feel supported. But certainly I feel like with the added help of these NASCAR owners and everything, it helps. Last Thursday we had a media day. A lot of the drivers, the late model stock drivers and the pro late model drivers were all at the NASCAR the head office downtown Charlotte, where we did media days. They got our pictures for us, which we are allowed to use later on. And just, I feel like at the track too, the presence of, I mean, you look at the pro count from last year to this year, it's growing immensely. I mean, we had some races last year with 12, 13 cars.
Right.
Now we're up to 23. So I think it's definitely drawn people and crowds too. I mean, I noticed the crowd was pretty good last week. So even Jeff came out to the track to give us kind of a wave off and the start of the series. So that was really cool to be able to see him there. And just, I think it's definitely going to help the series, and especially at races like North Wilkesboro, which we're really looking forward to. I think it's going to be like a sold out house.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. It'd be kind of cool, though, if, at some point, Dale Jr. Just sort of sauntering by and he pops into the 13 trailer and says, "Hey, whereabouts that Austin McDonald kid I keep hearing about? I want to talk to him." Wouldn't that be a surreal moment? And do you think that day he'll ever show up?
I definitely hope so. We were able to talk to Dale at the banquet last year, and he's just a super cool guy. He was really chill about everything, and just, I think between the 4 owners that are here, I think it's phenomenal guys to really run the series and be a part of our series. And I mean, I'm from Nova Scotia. I'm the furthest one coming for this series, and they make me feel like it's my home and that's where I belong to be. So I think it's really a class act series, and I don't think you could run a better series right now.
Too cool. I got to take you back to one of my pinch myself moments. I'm doing media day at Daytona. Did a lot of broadcasting years ago down at Daytona. And, of course, as a media member, you get to go to media day. I'm there, and I'm interviewing Clint Boyer and, Kyle Larson. We've seen him today. And I look over, and here comes Dale Jr. I thought, I don't know whether he would even do an interview with this old guy out of Canada. And I walked up to him and said, "Dale, can I get a quick word with you?" And he goes, "Yeah, man. Yeah, sure." So he's got his fire suit on and everything. And he was growing the beard that year. So it was the first year of the beard, right? And I had the mic on, but I didn't have it up to my face or up to his. I just sort of went, "Oh, Dale, this is great. I'm really glad you're doing this. I am from Canada. So you're going to get lots of airplay up in Canada. I just want you to know something, though." And he goes, "Yeah, what's that, Joe?" I said, "You think your beard is itchy now. You wait till you got to put on that balaclava, brother. It's really going to be itchy in there, and then you're going to have a helmet on. You're not going to be able to even scratch, right?" And he looked me dead in the eye, and he said, "It doesn't itch." Well, and then a big smile, right? Oh, so I had a great interview with Dale Jr., and I much appreciated the time. And I would see him from now and then. And when I would see him, he'd give me a little tip of the cap. So he is a really cool dude, Dale Jr., and you never know. One day you go from the experience you get on Race Time Radio, and you'll be up there with Mofo and those guys over there on that on his Dirty Mo channel. Talking about CARSTour racing. And Austin, I can see you doing it. How about races up here in Canada? Like, you're going to go down. How many CARSTour races have you got laid out? How many are we going to be able to watch you up here, buddy?
So right now, our schedule is, we're still kind of finalizing, but we know for sure that we're going to do the 13 CARSTour races. They're spread out through South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia. We're looking at doing some Southern Super Series races, or actually, that's not that series anymore. It's the ASA series now.
ASA, yep.
There's, I want to say three to 5 of them that we're looking at doing. A couple in Pensacola and one in Hickory maybe that we're looking at maybe doing so far. We're still trying to figure that stuff out. But definitely we're looking at the IWK again. It's hard to miss that race. I mean, it's the biggest race in Canada, I believe. So. And
near and dear to Grandpa's heart too, right? And your dad's, really, because that's the one that you guys all grew up on.
Absolutely. We have a lot of fans up home that we like to be able to kind of interact with. And I mean, I know that I have the most support of, I think, any driver that I know right now from our home province in Nova Scotia. And just have to give a big shout out to all my fans out there that support me. And even though I'm not racing at home, still follow. And I mean, I see them on Facebook and everywhere. They always comment and kind of help me go somewhere in the sport, hopefully. But definitely the IWK. And we're also looking at doing 660, I think, the Fredericton 250.
Ooh.
That's one of my favorite racetracks. And definitely just one of the coolest races. It's a race you have to be smart in.
Mm-hmm.
Save your tires and just be there at the end. So between those two races, I think those are my two main ones that for sure. And I think you might see us pull a legend car out too this year and maybe have some fun in that at home.
Yeah, you're too good. Austin, I know we can't wait to see you on this side of the border, and we will continue to watch you on the other side of the border. Good luck in all you do. Racetime Radio is going to be following you all the way through. And we're going to get you back on this Racetime Radio often throughout the course of this summer, leading up to that IWK 250. And hopefully we've got a couple W's to talk about in there, at least top threes.
I hope so. And I think with our team this year and just everybody that supports me, I mean, King Freight Lines, Nova Truck Centers, and McKay, like, those guys hopped on board again this year to support us. And I think just with the team we have and the team we built so far and all the experience we're going to get, I think we're going to be a strong and competitive team this year, and I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate being on the show.
I just want to get
absolutely, Austin, absolutely. Got to thank you so much, and thanks for the time tonight on Race Time. We're going to cut Austin loose because I know our next guest is up, and we are going to bring him on as soon as we get to the other side of this break, and we will be back with you all live tonight on Race Time Radio. Stay with us.
From coast to coast, you're listening to Canada Talks.
Tonight's Racetime Radio is brought to you by Leaf Racewear. Fuel your passion and confidence at leafracewear.com. We're an essential part of any team. And by Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, Canada's biggest sports car racing weekends of the year. For tickets and details, get to CanadianTireMotorsportPark.com. It's time to get back to the racetracks. For over 30 years, Quick Fire Starters have fueled the sport on and off the track, making lighting your campfire as easy as 1, 2, 3. There's no need for kindling or paper. Just pop your Quick Fire Starter in the pit, add your wood, and presto, you're a pro. Quick Fire Starters. No harmful chemicals, and guaranteed to light your fire every time. Quick Fire Starters, the world's best fire starter. It's Canada's kickoff to 2023 at Penticton Speedway. It's the second annual Western Rattler 300 weekend.
If you build it, they will come.
Friday, May 5th, it's qualifying, plus the Street Stock Viper 100 and the WESCAR Snakebite 125. The top three will qualify and move on to the 300. Then Saturday, May 6th, it's the 300 Last Chance Qualifier, plus the Street Stock Venom 100 and the second annual Western Rattler 300. It's Canada's richest to win pro late model event with $20,000 to the winner. For tickets and info, get to PentictonSpeedway.com or tune in live on Racetime Radio for live flag-to-flag coverage.
Riley Sievert, the winner. This is my own, not coming here to push me around, and this is probably the biggest win of my career.
May 5th and 6th, the best in the business will be at Penticton Speedway at the Western Rattler 300.
Hey everyone, this is World Series champions Lance McCullers Jr. and Carlos Correa. We're excited to announce that our podcast, The Walkout, is now available on SiriusXM.
Each episode, we go inside the world of combat sports, providing hardcore analysis, honest opinions, and top picks for every fight.
If you share the same passion for combat sports as we do, you need to listen to The Walkout.
Episodes are available on the SiriusXM app, Pandora, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Rev TV, your motorsports and automotive destination. Watch live races from around the world and right here at home, from 2 wheels to 4 and so much more. Rev TV is your source for motorsports. Rev TV features exclusive race series, up-to-date news coverage, documentaries, how-to programs, and adrenaline-filled lifestyle programs 24/7. Go green with Rev TV. Contact your TV provider to order.
Tonight's Race Time Radio is fueled by AP Race Fuels, the worldwide leader in race fuel technology.
If you're a Springsteen fan, you just found the promised land. Hear rare interviews and performances. Live concerts.
Is there anybody alive out there?
Celebrity guest DJs.
This is Rob Lowe. Hey, baby, it's Little Steven here.
And more exclusives when listening to Bruce Springsteen's channel.
Welcome, Bruce Springsteen, to E Street Radio. You're home away from home. Great to be here.
E Street Radio, SiriusXM Channel 20.
Explore the musical world of an American rock and roll troubadour on his very own channel.
Tom Petty Radio.
All of Tom's music, influences, collaborations.
This is Tom Petty here on The Buried Treasure Show.
Heartbreakers hosted shows.
Check out my show, The Breakdown with Mike Campbell.
And more.
It's Tom Petty Radio.
Channel 31.
It's all right.
And in the SXM app, included with all trials and popular plans.
Did you know you can get home and away feeds for every NFL, NBA, and NHL game on your phone?
I can't believe it!
Every game, all season. It's all on the SXM app. Sports the way they're meant to be heard, with your hometown announcers just a tap away. Search for your team, then tap the star on the corner of the screen and save it as your favorite.
It is gone! An incredible finish!
And if you love college sports, when the game is on, just search for your school. It's always a home game when you listen to sports on the SXM app. Free for most subscribers.
We're just getting started. That's right. Joe hasn't stuck his foot in his mouth yet. But hang tight, it's coming. Now, back to more Race Time Radio and Joe Chisholm.
And welcome back, everybody, to Race Time Radio, all live tonight on SiriusXM Channel 167, Canada Talks, and so glad you could tune in tonight. Welcome to all our Rev TV viewers. One of you Rev TV viewers is really going to get a charge out of our next guest, because you're the one that pretty well requested it, and we searched him out. We got him. Let's welcome into the program driver of the 54, I do believe. He'll correct me if I'm wrong. Logan Power, all the way from New Brunswick. What's going on tonight there, Log? How you doing?
Good, man. How you doing? I appreciate you having me on the show. That's pretty awesome there. And my number's 58, too.
See that? 58. Call me old. Call me old, buddy. Call me old. How's the car coming? You getting it all ready to go for another season?
Yeah, no. We did the big tear down on her there. Every year we go through it, ball joints and maintenance, pretty much everything. But we found a couple good things this year. Hopefully improve the car. We had an all right year last year, which is we won a couple big races. Our worst finish out of 12 races was, I'd say, 4th. So we had a pretty all right year, and we got a lot of momentum going in. So car's coming along good.
Hey, that's the way to have it. And you are one that I know a lot of fans keep their eye on. Whenever they say the name Logan Power in the race, I know there's fans that key up to it. Not very often do we get special requests, but I did literally get a special request and said, hey, I want to hear from Logan Power and what his plan is for 2023. Now that the street stock end of it with WESCAR has been announced, there's some touring involved. There's races at a bunch of different racetracks. So I thought no better way to get the answer than to get you on this show. Logan, what's the plan for 2023?
I'm actually going to do a lot of traveling this year. I'm going to probably got about 18 races scheduled. I'm going to do all the Andy Ganesh races. I'm going to go to Cape Breton again. I think I'm going to run full-time Mayor Machi. 3 or 4 races down at Speedway 660 I got. Full-time Petty Raceway. I don't know for sure yet, but I might get my feet wet in a legend car this year too there for once or twice, which would be a pretty cool experience there. So it's going to be a pretty busy season for sure.
You are a young guy. Yeah, by looks of you are. How old are you, and how did you get your start in this sport?
I'm actually 25 years old, and I've been around racing all my life. I'm actually fourth generation in my family with the number 58. So I was bled right into it. I was at the racetrack. It was probably 3 days after I was at the hospital. We were there, and it's been an addicting habit ever since. And I've been doing it with my father for, well, all my life. And to learn from him and now go a little bit separate on my own there. I started to gather up my own crew, and Dad wants to do some fishing and stuff, but he helps me out as much as he can, which I respected. He's been doing it for 35 years, so he's got to try something different in life, I'm thinking.
Oh, yeah. And there's a common thread. Just listening to Austin McDonald just ahead of you. You know Austin. He's from the East Coast as well, and I'd say he and his dad and his grandfather, and there's a common thread there. And there's no doubt, Logan, you could have been conceived in the back seat of one of those race cars.
That's right. I'm almost positive it must have happened because all I do is sleep and breathe race cars. So something like that had to happen.
Yeah, incredible. I want to say, Logan, we had you on Race Time Radio after a modified win. I don't know why I want to say a modified win, but was that true? Is my memory coming back to me now?
Yes, I actually got my feet wet in a modified in 2020. Daryl Butler gave me the option one day. I wasn't racing. He's like, would like to try my car out? I was like, absolutely. I'd drive anything if it had four wheels. And we were able to win that. And then we went to 660 the weekend after, and we were able to double down in my debut in a modified 2 for 2. So it was pretty all right there. It was good experience and really enjoyed myself.
Well, and that all pays dividends from behind the wheel. What's your biggest accomplishment on the Speedway in a race car? What's your biggest accomplishment, man?
I would say it would have to be the Mike Stevens Memorial. I've won that race twice now, and I really looked up to Mike Stevens as a driver and as a person, and so out of all my accomplishments in my short career, I think that would be my biggest one is the Mike Stevens Memorial.
Well, you can't see the back of my laptop right now, but I got a big number 4 on the back of it. I knew Mike Stevens quite well myself, and you mentioned it as you were talking there that you plan on participating at Riverside International Speedway in your street stock this year, and I got to tell you, that's probably where I met Mike Stevens, in Victory Lane at Riverside. He was always so good in that Pro Stock Tour when you hit Riverside, and he was at a number of racetracks. Petty comes to mind as well, but man, oh man, old Mike Stevens could get the job done, couldn't he?
Yeah, no, we used to do a lot of chumming around with him. Mikey, we did a lot of camping with him and stuff. He was definitely the hoot of the party. He told you how it was, and he laid everything down on the racetrack when he was there. He wasn't there to dilly-dally. He loved talking to people, but he was there for one thing, and he was there to want to win. And I really respected him for that, and I looked up to that, and those races mean really a lot to me. Every Mike Stevens weekend, I'd rather win that race 3 more times and never win another race again.
Really? And that's cool. That's your Daytona 500 to this part of your career. 25 years old. Trust me, that bar's going to move because you aren't going anywhere anytime soon. You're going to be moving up through the ranks. You can feel it. Do you aspire one day to be in one of those Pro Stock cars, a super late model, as we call them around Ontario, or a Pro late model? Do you aspire to do that, to get to that level?
I would like to get there someday. I've raced everything but a Pro Stock, pretty much, and a Legend course, but I would really like to eventually get there, but I'd like to get my feet wet with a sportsman car that we got on the mix right now, and I'd like to get my feet wet there and then hopefully move on in the future, but it is a possibility that I'd like for sure to get my feet wet in it, for sure.
So race number 1 for you this year, where is it going to be? Are you going to get any test time in before you go green, or what's race number 1 looking like out of those 18?
Our first race is going to be the season opener at 660. It's May 15th, I believe. I don't know for sure, but that's the earliest race. And yeah, we're going to get some test time. We're going to get a couple weeks at Petty before we go down to 660, break the car in, new motor, new transmission, all that fun stuff. But yeah, it's going to be a busy season, and we just take it one race at a time and one lap at a time, and hopefully we're there at the end.
Well, that's music to Brett Roy's ears. You can bet he just perked up going, okay, we got another one coming. That's dynamite stuff. I see the trophies in behind you there. Are those sitting on the floor, or are they tall, man? They're huge trophies.
Yeah, no, they're one of them's 8.5 feet tall, and the next one's 8 feet tall, and this one is 4.5 feet tall. Those are the two big ones. Are my back-to-back She Showdown wins, and I finished second in the third year. So those are pretty tall trophies. Yes.
Oh yeah, big accomplishment. You're gonna have to build a trophy room, kiddo. Tell your dad to go ahead and get the fishing pole out, but you need that wall over there for trophies because you plan on loading them in this year.
Yeah, no, I hope so. There, I got a good crew of guys backing me up. I got a lot of good buddies there that put a lot of time in with me, so they deserve the win much as I do. So we all work our butts off, and we got a lot of sponsors that I support, and couldn't thank them all enough for letting me do what I want to do.
Well, I'm going to put you on the spot now because I want you to name some of them because they mean so much to you, bud. Go ahead, name them out.
Yeah, I can't thank Review Muffler, Bruce. He's been with me for 15 years now. Adam at A1 Truck Stop. He's awesome to deal with. Brent Martin, Eagles Pool Services, Quentin Power, Estates. I can't thank Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen's been a big jump for us this year. And DYI Gutters, they're awesome. Freddie Bannister, he's my main sponsor guy. He does a lot for me, and you can't thank him enough. All of my crew, really, like Coven and Carter and Mason, the whole Stahl family, my dad, my family. Like, I got a lot of supporters behind me, and it's I got some shoes to fill, but I'm game to do it.
You're darn right you are. And there's nothing like stopping at Dairy Queen for an ice cream cone on the way home after you've won the race, right?
Yeah, hopefully we're stopping for a Dairy Queen, not another DQ Blizzard or something.
So funny. I hear your story, and I think of there's a late model racer, really, really good late model racer at the Delaware Speedway. He drives the number 69. Lloyd Rawlings is his name. Lloyd has always got a perfect, I mean a pristine race car, and he goes out there and he runs. And, you know, he's always around that top 5, top 10. He bounces around in there, never getting to really win, though. Like maybe picking up a heat win. But when it comes time for features, you got, you know, like Ray Morneau, and you got all the big guys up front running. And the 69 car's back there a wee bit. Had Lloyd Rawlings on the show one time. And I said, Lloyd, you're running in that top 5, top 10 all the time. How come you're not going up there winning? He says, no, can't do that. I said, why? Why? You want to get up there and win? He goes, nah, I ain't got the money those guys have got. He said, I am having a good time. He said, what we do, Joe, on the way home as a family, we stop and we get fries on the way home, and that's what we look forward to. We look forward to a night of racing at Delaware Speedway on a Friday night and then loading up the car in one piece and taking it home and stopping for fries on the way home. That's what those guys like to do. I know your story's a little bit different. Only you stop at Dairy Queen. You got that, I don't know, an 8-foot trophy. You'd have to have the window down to have it sticking out.
Yeah, that was a trick to get that home for sure. It was a trick.
Final question for you tonight. Let's talk Riverside International Speedway, because I'll tell you, it's all the talk on the East Coast of Canada. We love watching the Pro Stock Tour, and we love watching everything that goes through Riverside. There's no doubt they have not had street stocks on that track since, John Chisholm bought the place a long, long time ago. It's going to be something to see you guys back out there. You guys have to be coming off the chip for that race.
Yeah, no, that's actually a really big bucket list. I've never turned a lap around Riverside. I've helped a lot of cars at Riverside, but myself, I've never. And it's going to be a big play your cards right. Be patient. Don't burn your stuff up. Like, nobody really knows what they're getting themselves into yet, except for the guys that race sportsmen that are racing street stocks with us. Like, they know what they're getting themselves into. But, like, I think if you just take your time and play your cards right and be cool and don't get worked up, I think it's going to turn out good for a lot of guys, honestly.
Yeah, take what the car will give you. That's what you got to do each and every time you strap in, right? You put the helmet on, you take what the car will give you. If it's first, you go get it. If it's fifth, take it.
Exactly. No, we go there. We had a lot of good luck there this year, so we're hoping it's going to move forward to 2023. And I'm willing to go at anything that comes my way, so we're ready.
Logan, I will not forget number 58. How's that?
That's awesome.
I will not forget 58, and I look forward to hopefully getting to a race on the east coast of Canada with you in it. And I'll come directly to you, my friend. This has been great here tonight. I know you satisfied a lot more than one viewer. There's a lot of people on the east coast of Canada and across Canada that are going to enjoy hearing your story, and they can definitely appreciate you, man, and so do we here at Race Time. Thanks so much for the time tonight, bud.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I can't thank you enough.
That is Logan. Watch Logan Power. Watch for him. I'm telling you, he is going to be one of those guys to watch on the racetrack in his street stock. He's going to multiple tracks. You're going to see him at 660 and Riverside and Petty International. I wouldn't doubt you see him on the island at some point. He's going to be at all those different racetracks, and he is definitely going to be a threat to win each and every time he's in that race car. Kind of cool to see the trophies that he's got up behind him, right? He's got a lot of guys helping him. And the common thread, the dad got him in. And, you know, to hear Austin, he and his grandfather and his dad, and there's a common thread in this game. And maybe you're new. Maybe you want to get involved in stock car racing at your local racetrack. I'll tell you, it is so easy to do. I say it's easy to do, and it's hard to do. And here's how I qualify that. If you haven't got a race car and you want to get one, and you're not a welder kind of guy, I couldn't weld bubblegum. I wouldn't know how to do it, so I'd be sunk right off the bat. But what you do is go to your local racetrack, pick up a copy of the rules, and ask questions. Get in the pits, talk to the guys that are there, and find somebody that can put a roll cage in the car you want to race. And I'll tell you, you're going to find all like-minded guys and guys that have been in your very shoes at one point or another. And I don't care if you go to a guy like Logan Power and ask him questions, he's going to give you answers. I don't care if you go to Austin McDonald, big super late model guy. He will answer questions and help you. Donald Chisholm, the list goes on and on. Any of them. Talk to them. You'll get the answers that you need when you're going to look for getting into a race car. And I know you're not going to start in a division they're starting in. You'd be nuts to do that. You'd want to start out at an entry level and work your way up. The Legend Series is awesome. The INEX Legend Series. They're all over Canada and the U.S. They're great to start in. Just so many good classes that you can get involved in, and you'll want to do that. I'm getting real close to the top of the hour. Got to throw the keys back to SiriusXM. A quick news update takes 90 seconds. And then we will be back with you all live tonight on SiriusXM Channel 167 Canada Talks. We'll be back with you on Rev TV. And if you're tuned in on RaceTimeRadioTV on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, will you? We are either really close to 100 or just over it now, and we need your support. We haven't been on YouTube very long, as you can tell, but we got lots of national listeners. I will be quiet now. Scotty, back to you in Toronto. Get us up to date. And then Jerry Paxton, he is going to join me. We're in for a lot of fun. Stay with us live tonight on Race Time.
You're listening to Canada Talks on SiriusXM Channel 167.
Racetime Radio is brought to you by the Quality Inn, Halifax Airport, the official stay of the Racetime Radio broadcast crew. Also by APX Racewear, the motorsports leader in custom crew apparel and fire suits. Also by the Wooden Door Bistro.
When you think NASCAR, think SiriusXM NASCAR Radio.
This may be the most important thing that's ever happened. You're damn right, baby.
The races.
The Daytona 500 win.
I love that we have playoff racing now.
The talk shows.
We'd love for you guys to participate as well.
The unprecedented access.
Well, I'm here at the red carpet with the fans.
SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90.
Chastain did a video game move.
Also streaming on the SXM app.
I think they're happy down here.
We're back with hour number 2 of Racetime Radio. With the two Joes here on Racetime Radio on SiriusXM 167, where Canada talks.
And welcome back, everybody, to Racetime Radio. No, you're not with the two Joes. You're with the one Joe. The other Joe has got his butt in his car driving back from the city of Toronto and Motorama. What a great, great weekend they had down there at the International Centre. If you didn't get to Motorama this year, trust me, you want to put it on your calendar for 2024 because that'll be your next chance to go to Motorama and see everybody all under one roof. I had a blast. I learned a bunch. Learned not to plug my microphone into my video camera and expect it to work. It didn't, but it happens, right? You got to learn. And I know every guest that I had on there from Motorama, we're going to have them all live on Racetime Radio in due time. I can guarantee it. And my apologies to you guys, but I digress. What do you say we talk some more racing? And I love talking racing with this next guy. We could talk 2 hours, I can guarantee it. He is compadre to Racetime Radio. You'll hear him in turn number 2. You'll hear him from pit lane. You'll hear him from victory lane. You'll hear him from all over the place. His name, Gerry Paxton. He is our man. What's going on tonight, Jerry, man? How you doing?
I'm doing all right, Joe. I'm enjoying a beautiful Sunday evening. It's not snowing.
Buddy, you never change. You look the same age, the same look the whole time you have for a number of years. You're looking fantastic, man.
Clean living and following a lot of racing. I think that's what it is.
I think it's Sylvia's food. I think that's what's getting you, buddy boy.
Well, she was making apple fritters today, Joe.
Oh.
I think I've put on about 4 pounds today, so I've got some work to do now.
An inch closer would have been straight through the heart, Jerry, just straight through the heart. But, man, you've even got a good tan. You were, the last time you and I communicated, you were in Australia, in Tasmania, of all places. Here I am on a Sunday night live on the show. It was Monday afternoon, and you were bearing.
You got it. It was a great trip. We have friends in Ulverston, Tasmania, and they've been our friends for over 40 years. We had never gone to their place. They'd been here half a dozen times. So I told Sylvia for our 40th wedding anniversary, time to make the trip, and we did. We had a phenomenal time with them. That trip itself was a trial, but we survived.
Oh, man, a long, long flight. I think it's bad when you and I take off and we go to Penticton and Jerry and I leave Hamilton, Ontario. Love flying out of Hamilton. It's like leaving from your garage, right? And the people are all so nice. And Jerry and I get on the WestJet flight, and we go from Hamilton out to Calgary, and then we deplane. And anybody that knows me knows they call me Smoking Joe for a reason. And as soon as the wheels touch down, I'm banging on the door saying, okay, let me out. I got to go outside and get breath of fresh air. We dash out there. Jerry says, hey, Joe, how long are we in Calgary? I said, just a mere 6 hours, Jerry. We're just going to hang around here for a little bit, and then we get off to Penticton. It's a little bit of a wait. It takes Jerry and I like a good, I'm going to say 12 hours. From the time we leave home until the time we get our toes down in Penticton, it's a good 12 hours. But, Jerry, that was like a short jaunt compared for you and Sylvia heading off to all the way to Tasmania. That would have been like a whirlwind.
Well, put it this way. The travel agent was kind enough to tell me that the flight to Launceston, Tasmania. If I flew one more hour, I would have been on my way home. So I'm literally halfway around the world. But I have to admit, it was a lot of fun listening to Race Time Radio at 11 o'clock in the morning when it was 7 o'clock back here.
Right.
And I'm sitting having, well, I started with coffee, but we all know me better than that. So, but we had a great time. And Graham was sitting there and he's like, you got to be kidding me. And of course, that was the day you managed to pull the bobblehead down and put it on the desk. And that just absolutely blew his mind. So we have a full set of Race Time Radio characters in bobblehead form on its way right now to Tasmania.
Isn't that cool? Well, I hope Graham enjoys them. And one day, maybe. Now, I know they got short tracks over there. Jerry, you told me about that. You were watching in the local newspaper that there was talk about local short tracks. I'm really surprised that they didn't get you cornered and out there to call a race. It wouldn't surprise me in the least, but you didn't make it out to the short track, but you did read about them.
I read about them. They were doing a big late model show at the track, and I apologize, I can't even remember the name of the track at the moment, but it was about 30 miles away from me. So it'd be like me going to Flamborough Speedway from home. It would have been no problem at all. But every Friday, there's a whole write-up in the paper about what's coming up for racing action on Saturday night. So I would scour the papers Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, no results. That was the most disappointing thing. I'm like, I actually sent a note to the newspaper saying, hey, I love your lead-ups. Where are the results? I need to know what happened. You need to send somebody to follow up. So I didn't get a response while I was there, and I doubt that the one came through.
No. You know what? They're doing it right. They're telling you about the race and come on out to the race and don't miss the race. And when it comes time for results, you didn't pay your money. You don't get the results.
And that was it. And I have to be honest, we were having so much fun. I think if I'd have suggested going to the racetrack, I might have been flying home alone.
Yeah. Sylvie has enough of me and you all summer long. I can guarantee it. We're in for another busy one. So as long as Sylvie and Sue don't go start looking for replacements.
She's already got her plaque up in the kitchen. We interrupt this marriage to bring you the racing season.
Yeah. Too incredible. Hey, we're lucky we're married to the right two.
That's right.
Yeah, well,
couldn't have got better partners, that's for sure.
No way. As long as you get the pool open and I can get Sue a big spin, she'll be happy. Yeah.
Actually, I think Sylvia really enjoys when we go away racing for the weekend. It's a break.
Yeah.
I'm not here.
Yeah, I hear you. Jerry, over the course of the winter now, you did a little damage to your knees. Now you're starting to feel like old Joe here. You popped a knee. How's it coming along?
We'll be good. It's the doctor tells me I'm probably about 4 or 5 weeks away from being back to it. And I looked at the calendar and I went, perfect. By Penticton, I'm in excellent shape again.
Yeah.
But my snow shoveling for this year is now done, apparently. That big, heavy, wet snow I pushed on, and that was a bad thing for me to do. So I was pretty lame for a few days, but we're getting around again. I just have to take a rest now and then. And you know me, Joe, I'm not real good at taking a rest.
No, you are not. No, you like to be active. I'm with you on that one. But hey, Jerry, we're not getting younger. We're getting more experience, the way I look at it. And we're going to gain a bunch more experience. The Western Rattler 300. You weren't lucky enough to join us last year. You were, I don't know, sucking on a pina colada under some palm tree in Florida last year while Brad Mann and I manned the racetrack out of Penticton. But I know you went back and watched the Western Rattler 300. It was a hell of a race.
Great race. And I love Penticton Speedway. That is a very quick racetrack. Great to watch. And I mean, great for all different types of cars. That was the one thing that I noticed right away when we were out there back in August last year. That racetrack is so fast. And now that they've taken the little bumps out of turn number 1, I think it's going to be a lot quicker again.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. And that's what Trevor was talking about. He needed to get that done. There was a lot of race teams, and Jerry, you and I've heard it from teams forever. No, don't touch the track. That's the character I depend on. That's maybe my advantage. So by Trevor going out there and fixing that, he may have taken the advantage away from some guys, but may have handed the advantage to somebody else.
I think one of the guys we're going to find out about real quick is Riley Siebert, because let's face it, as he calls it, that's his backyard, and you just changed his backyard. So now let's see if that changes the character, because obviously Riley knew that bump, I think, better than anybody else. And watching him in the Rattler 300, watching him in an RS1 car, he got it figured out real well.
Oh, yeah. Talk about figured out. Riley Siebert is the man to unseat out there. And I know there's a number of competitors, like a huge number of competitors, that are going to be out there this year trying to unseat him May the 5th and 6th. It's going to be your birthday while we're out there, Jerry.
It is.
Guess what I'm going to get you?
Numbers, Joe.
Guess what
number alone.
Guess what I'm going to get you for your birthday, buddy?
I'm afraid to ask. How about a great race?
Okay, great race, and maybe a Bud Light when it's all done.
Okay, deal.
Good deal. Yeah. Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be singing happy birthday to you, I can imagine.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Listening to Trevor talk about what he's put together as this Rattler 300 weekend, he's got one heck of a show. And as I said off air with you when we were talking earlier, I said, man, that's got to be the ticket of the year. That is some phenomenal racing for a Friday, Saturday show.
Yeah, and it's going to be at the right value, too. Tickets are on sale now at Penticton Speedway. If you want to get your tickets, it may be a good idea, because I guarantee you, race fans, this place is going to be full. It'll be full beyond full. If you want a seat, they're going to sell you the whole thing. You're only going to need the edge for 300 laps and more on Friday night. We're going to talk about the WESCAR end of it, which is going to be the Friday night 125 snakebite, in just a bit here in hour number 2. I've got Keenan Mayert. Nope. Mayert. I'll get it right. Mayert. I got Keenan coming up, and he is with WESCAR, and we're going to talk to him about the excitement of the WESCAR guys now that the announcement has been made and the momentum starts to build. But, Jerry, yesterday, I was at Motorama. I had a blast down there and got caught up with a guy that, man, you and I and he go back a long, long way. Got up and actually got an interview with John Caselli, owner of Flamborough Speedway. And I'm so disappointed that none of the audio worked, because it was awesome talking to John. It always is. I always have a lot of fun with John. That guy's heart is in the right spot. When it comes time for racing, I don't think there is a promoter that his heart is in the same place as John Caselli. How about you?
I agree 100%. John, I worked with John, for as you've said earlier, decades. Mm-hmm. And I enjoyed every single moment of it. John is the ultimate honest promoter. He looks after the racers. He makes sure the fans are taken care of. It is a great show that he puts on, and the drivers that race for him. I don't think you'll find a racer that has anything bad to say about John Caselli. And, the man's been around this business a long, long time. And if you know John well, it's always these guys.
Yeah.
And you know what? He can't finish the sentence because his heart's too big. I know what he wants to say is, these guys, I love them, but they are like kids. They just give me gray hair. Actually, I think they took John's hair away.
Yeah, he's kind of got the strip up top, right? And he always has, now that you say that. But yesterday when I was speaking with John, we started talking about, the season schedule. I got the Flamborough Speedway schedule. You can get it online. I got my hard copy right at Motorama. We started talking about the schedule, and John highlighted, the Gold Rush is coming up. He's got the big 50,000 to win again, I do believe. He's got the Grisdale Triple Crown is going to happen again, and he's got major street stock races and super stock races and quick fire stock and APC coming through. And then John talked about the memorial race for the number 46 of Bill Zardo, and typical John Caselli, and you know him as well as I do, John is a very, very emotional guy and sentimental. And I could feel him welling up talking about Bill Zardo, because he and Bill Zardo go back right to the beginning. And, Jerry, the older we get, the more we start losing friends that we have been a part of forever. And that's definitely one for John Caselli. He's going to have a memorial race, but it's going to be a lot more than a memorial race in John Caselli's eyes and a lot of fans.
I think so. You can't talk about Flamborough Speedway without talking about the Zardos and the Shepherds. I mean, Hanley and Biederman, absolutely. But the next on the list has got to be Zardo and Shepherds. They built that place with their racing families. And, I got to know all of them over the years. And Bill Zardo, just the greatest guy. There isn't anybody on the face of the planet that man wouldn't stop to help. And his family, much the same. He was never so proud as he was of his grandsons. And he has taught them so many things. And yet I also know that what he's forgotten is probably more than what those boys have learned. But, to talk with Lane, who has the greatest respect for his grandfather, and he was with him when Bill passed. And that was really hard on Lane. I could see it in his face.
Yeah.
But John was a great friend of them, and John misses them. I know he does. John has a great heart for the guys who helped build his facility and keep it going every week. And I mean, if you want to find out somebody, talk to Gary Elliott. He'll tell you. There's another one that John holds near and dear to his heart, and that's just John. He loves the sport. He loves the guys who love the sport, and he just wants you to come to the racetrack and race and have fun. And with the Zardo family and the Shepherd family, that was what it was all about. This memorial, I think, is going to be very special. And I'm really happy to say that John has agreed to allow me to come back and be a part of it. Now, for me, that's a big heartfelt, because certainly Pete and Sharon, Bill, Billy Jr., Lane, Petey Shepherd, all of those guys, I watched all of them race at Flamborough Speedway. And hey, don't ever let anybody tell you that Sharon couldn't drive a race car.
Oh, man, Sharon was wild in a race car. She really was. She had it dialed in just as much as Bill Sr. or Billy the Second to any of them. Sharon was awesome behind the wheel. And, we were there one night, and it flashes into my mind now, but Sue and I were there. It was in the early days of Race Time Radio. And we're walking through the pits, and that particular night, Bill Zardo was in the pits. I believe he was running his late model. Lane was in the pits. He was going to run a street stock, I do believe. Billy the Third was in a car, and Sue goes, "Look at this. We got 4 generations of Zardos. I want to get those 4 lined up, and I want a photo." And that was always Sue's mantra, right? She had the camera. She captured so much stuff. And we walked over to the pit. Now, of course, they all know Sue. And Susie goes, "Come on, boys, all line up. I want a photo with you 4 guys." We got 4 generations. And Sue got that photo. She still has it today. And I know we shared it with the Zardos. And it was always a special moment for us. And I can't tell you how many races I was at Flamborough Speedway, sitting in the grandstand of my dad, listening to one Gerry Paxton on the microphone and watching Bill Zardo live in front of me, along with Junior Hanley and Don Biederman and Rich Grady and all the names from the past. And Jerry, so cool, and that will be a very, very memorable night. I said to John, if there's any way, John, and I'm telling you, I will do it for nothing. I want to be there. I want to be there for that race, and I want Race Time Radio to do it live in Bill's name.
That would be a phenomenal night, because it is going to be very, very special. I know that the Zardo family has raced at Flamborough Speedway. They've raced at Sunset Speedway. But I think, and yeah, maybe I'm a little partial, but I'm going to say Flamborough was home. That was the one that they were at most regularly, most often. And the boys cut their racing teeth there. The grandsons all cut their racing teeth there. I know, and Bill loved that racetrack.
Oh, yeah.
He knew that racetrack. I think he could have driven it with his eyes closed and probably finished top 3.
Yeah, I would agree. And the odd part is, Jerry Paxton, I told John this yesterday. I said, "John, you won't remember it. You won't remember me as a 16-year-old kid. You wouldn't remember me as an 8-year-old kid coming in the back 8 with Brian Morrison. Well, not that back 8, but Brian Morrison would go in the back 8, And his brother Paul would walk me over to the grandstand, and Paul and I would sit in the grandstand and watch Brian race. And you wouldn't remember that, John Caselli, but long before Sauble Speedway, Flamborough Speedway was my home too. And it was, and that's how I knew all the guys. And John and I talked about the Crawlinator Triple 50s and the Coca-Cola Twin 75s. They were such mega events back in the day, Jerry. I never left the cottage early, ever, ever, ever. And I said to Sue one Saturday, I said, okay, Sue, we're going to pack up and we're going to head home. And she goes, did you hit your head? Like, what are we going home from the cottage early for? We've never gone home from the cottage. What's the matter? You're not feeling good? I said, no, it wasn't that. She said, well, what? I said, there's a race at Flamborough Speedway I don't want to miss. It's the Crawlinator Triple 75s. And she goes, you got to be kidding me. You're not going to go all the way home so that you can turn around, drive to Flamborough Speedway and watch a race. I said, yeah, I am. She said, well, I'm not. I said, that's okay. I'll drop you off at home. I got to go to that race, Sue. I've seen all the qualifying. I've seen everything for it. I got to be at that race. And I'll tell you what a race. McCurley Milne, they used to sponsor that show. And honest to God, Jerry, those days are back. The APC series is lighting it here. You look on the East Coast of Canada, and we got the Pro Stock Tour, the East Coast International Pro Stock Tour. We got new series launching out there as well, the Super Late Model Series. Now we're out in the West Coast. We got things fired off out there with the Western Rattler. You got WESCAR. You got RS1. And, oh, by the way, how about in Saskatoon? They've got the Super Late Model Series that happens in Saskatoon, too. So we got it happening all the way across the country. The story will be the same. It's the place that'll change.
You're absolutely right. And there's great racing everywhere in Canada. People just don't know about it. And you know, you can flip on your TV on any weekend and watch NASCAR from the United States. And, you know, some of those races are great. Some of them, well, you know, you can miss the middle 300 laps. But short track racing, you can't beat it. Local racetracks, you want a great race show? Go to your local racetrack for a night. You'll probably get addicted. You'll be back. I mean, you just talked about it. You and I were the same. How many weekends did I leave a beautiful sunny patio and family and friends? Oh, I got to go to the track.
Yeah.
What do you mean you got to go to the track? Got to go to the track.
Got to go.
Got to go racing.
Yep.
Got to go.
Got to get my fix.
Never regretted it. Never, ever regretted it.
No. A couple times they had to peel you away, but, you know, by the time you got to the Speedway, you went, oh, yeah, I know why I'm here.
Well, it was funny when you were interviewing Austin McDonald and Logan Power, and I'm thinking about fathers and sons. And I look at you and I, and here we are doing the same thing, fathers and sons. My son, Josh, came to me, and he was so fired up about racing, and he was thinking he was going to go and drive a car. I said, well, here you go. Tell you what you can do. We'll find you somebody that'll work with you to drive because I don't know enough, or you can come work with me behind the microphone. It didn't take him long to figure it out. He's been working with me and does a phenomenal job. I couldn't be more proud of him for doing it. On the other side of my family is my brother Ken and my nephew Warren,
right?
Who racing at Sunset Speedway. Warren's now retired. His car is gone. He's found other things to do. But my niece Leslie, married to Andy Camrath. Gee,
seen them yesterday.
To know.
Yep, seen them yesterday. You know, Andy's all fired up.
Blood.
Yeah, Andy's all fired up. He's going to go modified racing again. He needs to go get that championship. Yeah.
Well, I think he's more fired up about putting Ryland in a junior late model than anything else. If you want the truth, I think he's having way more fun getting it started there.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. There might be just a little bit of a rivalry between him and Craig.
Yeah, maybe. Just a bit. Well, if not, there's going to be. It's stay tuned to be the best way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's lots of racing connection, and I can't wait to get to the tracks this summer because it's just going to be a blast. And with Racetime Radio, going coast to coast is phenomenal. I love it. On the off weekends, well, you never know where I might end up. I've got a family I can go and watch race. I've got friends I can go and watch race. And sometimes I just need the sound and the smell.
Yes, and you're going to have to make it up to Joe and Sue's, too, and bring Sylvia and get up here for a weekend. We got to have some fun. COVID's over, man.
We'll do that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Jerry, look forward to working with you once again for the Western Rattler 300. Get that knee healed up. I'll work on these two, and I just know you and I are going to be ready and A-OK and ready to go.
I'm all set to go. My backpack's already set, Joe. I got all my equipment packed up, ready to come along. All I got to do is throw a T-shirt and a change of underwear, and I'm ready to fly.
Yep. And we're not going to do what we did last year. And you're supposed to say, no, you're supposed to say, what's that?
What's that?
We're not going to change underwear like we did last year, where I changed with you and you changed with me. No, sir. No way. Incredible. Jerry, too much fun, buddy. Can't wait to get together with you. You're a true professional, and I learn something every time you and I get on these microphones.
Joe, I look forward to it. I can't wait to get the season started. May 5th can't come soon enough.
That is Jerry Paxton, and you can count on to be on Race Time Radio a ton over the course of 2023. It's all going to be good. IWK 250, I haven't formally announced it yet, but he knows, and I know, and now you do. We're going to be there at the IWK 250, and we got a lot of races coming up, including some more announcements as we get a little bit closer. But I am going to step out. Take a quick break. I almost said a final break, but it's not. A quick break, and when we come back, we're going to go all the way to Canada's West Coast, and we're going to talk some more about that Western Rattler 300 with WESCAR. Coming up next. Stay with us. All live tonight on Race Time Radio.
You're listening to Canada Talks on SiriusXM Channel 167.
Did you know you can get home and away feeds for every NFL, NBA, and NHL game on your phone?
I can't believe it!
Every game, all season. It's all on the SXM app. Sports the way they're meant to be heard, with your hometown announcers just a tap away. Search for your team, then tap the star on the corner of the screen and save it as your favorite.
It is gone! An incredible finish!
And if you love college sports, when the game is on, just search for your school. It's always a home game when you listen to sports on the SXM app. Free for most subscribers.
It's Canada's kickoff to 2023 at Penticton Speedway. It's the second annual Western Rattler 300 weekend.
If you build it, they will come.
Friday, May 5th, it's qualifying, plus the Street Stock Viper 100 and the WESCAR Snakebite 125. The top three will qualify and move on to the 300. Then Saturday, May 6th, it's the 300 Last Chance Qualifier, plus the Street Stock Venom 100 and the second annual Western Rattler 300. It's Canada's richest to win pro late model event, with $20,000 to the winner. For tickets and info, get to PentictonSpeedway.com or tune in live on Racetime Radio for live flag-to-flag coverage.
Riley Siebert, the winner. This is my own, not coming here to push me around, and this is probably the biggest win of my career.
May 5th and 6th, the best in the business will be at Penticton Speedway at the Western Rattler 300.
What is SiriusXM NASCAR Radio?
Tyler Reddy will go to victory lane at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You just won at Indy.
Down here in victory lane, let me ask the fans.
It's all.
Joey Logano will set his sights on a championship.
2 times, baby.
Things.
He shoved him up the racetrack.
Back up on the throttle as he heads to victory.
NASCAR.
Oh, he loses it. He crashes.
SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90. Also streaming on the SXM app.
Oh, hell yeah.
Even though Napa is a nationally known name, nearly all of our stores are built from the ground up by local owners and families. People you might call neighbors will be here, there, and everywhere. Doing what neighbors do to keep their communities moving forward. You stop by a Napa Auto Parts store, you can count on Napa know-how.
Tonight's Racetime Radio is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts Stores, New Glasgow, Antigonish, and Port Hawkesbury, Nova Scotia. You can count on Napa know-how.
BP Race Fuels, the worldwide leader in race fuel technology.
Soccer is a passion that goes beyond the sport, and SiriusXM FC's podcast, More Than a Game, brings that passion to you.
Can you believe it?
In each episode, FC's panel of experts take a deep dive into club histories, iconic grounds,
Anfield has erupted,
bitter rivalries, and so much more.
There's nothing like a derby day in Manchester.
New episodes are available weekly by downloading the SiriusXM app and searching More Than a Game.
From the high banks of Daytona. Cover it all. Ooh, that's going to leave a mark. And now, back to the Joes.
Hey, shake and bake, Cal! Woo! Shake and bake!
Here on RaceTime Radio.
Nah, you get ripped off tonight. You're going to get one Joe. The other Joe is still on his way home from Motorama, but that's okay. He'll be back in the air chair next Sunday night. I can guarantee it. But welcome back on SiriusXM Channel 167 Canada Talks. Of course, on Rev TV Canada, right across this big, beautiful nation. And on our YouTube channel, RaceTimeRadioTV. Don't forget to hit that subscribe. We surely, genuinely appreciate it. But let's get back to the Zoom line, and let's welcome in Keenan. Keenan, I have messed your last name up a couple of times, so I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to say it's Mayert.
Magnet.
Magnet.
There you go.
Well, you know what? I've even got it spelt wrong. I don't know how. You know what? I got that spelling from Trevor.
So Sheldon, who was, I think, originally going to be on this, his last name is Mayert. So
there you go. That's and you know what? My mistake. But how are you tonight, Keenan? You're doing good.
Doing good. How are you doing?
Doing fantastic, man. This is some good news here, in that we're going to have WESCAR in Friday night of the Western Rattler 300 weekend. That's going to fit the puzzle better than it did last year, right?
Yeah, we're pretty excited about it. A couple of our board of directors there a while back thought about it. How could we be a part of this? We have our late models. Some of them just can't, make weights and don't feel they can compete in the Rattler. But we wanted to be a part of that show, obviously, being the biggest show out here. And we came up with this idea. Lots of the super late shows in the States and stuff, they have a late model show opening for them the night before. And we thought, maybe that would work. And going back and forth with Trevor and the guys there, and we made it work. So, yeah, we're very excited.
Good on you guys. And good on Trevor, too. I got to say that. And the guys at Penticton Speedway for listening and, and being able to transform. That's not always easy for a racetrack promoter to do. Sometimes you get locked in their ways. I know I was one at one point, and I always tried to listen to the competitor base, and thank God they did. I honestly, Keenan, believe this is going to be a very positive move, and that's not to say anything, like the WESCAR guys. With any field of cars, I don't care if you look at Pro Late Model, I don't care if you look at APC here in the province of Ontario or East Coast International Pro Stock Tour, you always have an element of number of cars within those fields that really aren't competitive with the guys that are up in the top 3, top 5, top 10. It all comes back to money. It all comes back to equipment. It comes to talent. It comes to all of that. But one of the main ingredients in all of that is the actual race car that these guys compete in. If they are of age, if their car is, say, 5 years old, and today the line keeps moving, but let's say the car is 5 to 7, 8 years old, it's older technology. The cars were built heavier then. Some have a stock front clip on it. And if you have a stock front clip versus a tubular clip, the tubular ones, you'll remember, they started out for 2x4. I did a weight thing when tube clips came in Ontario. It was up to me with All-Star, right? And they said, are you going to allow a tube clip? I said, nope. It'll antiquate all my cars, so no, I'm not going to allow that. And back then, Jimmy Ward of 69 Auto, that picked up Junior Hanley's company back in the day, Jimmy Ward said to me, Joe Chisholm, how come you're being so stubborn on this? I said, Jimmy, I don't want to outlaw all the cars. He said, no, I'm not talking about the 2x3 clip that they see in the U.S. I'm going to build a 2x4 clip, and I will show you on a set of scales that the 2x4 clip is going to weigh 5 pounds more than the stock Camaro clip is going to weigh. I said, okay, Jimmy, you're on. I drove down to Bolton, Ontario. He set the scales up. He proved it to me. And I said, okay, I'll allow that 2x4 clip. But anybody with a 2x4 clip, because the geometry and it must match a Camaro pickup point, anybody that's running that still has to run 20 pounds of weight where I tell them to. And he goes, okay, that's fair enough, good enough. Even though it was 5 pounds heavier, and because ounces play a big role in racing. What I'm driving at is the older technology cars can't simply get to the same weights as what a new style pro late model can get to, right?
That's right. And, last year they gave the WESCAR and the BC late model cars provisions to be 150 pounds lighter than we normally would be for WESCAR for the 300. Our car, like my own car, we got down to those weights and it worked pretty good. Mm-hmm. We had a good finish in that race, but yeah, we definitely have, older perimeter cars, like you said, stock Camaro front clip cars still in our series. And it's just impossible for them to take advantage of that weight break, right? So
yeah, I see the number 34 over your shoulder. Is that your number? Were you in the 34 last year in that race?
Daryl drives it, but yeah, that's my car. Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. I knew when I seen that 34 over your shoulder. I went, I've seen that car last year. It had green number on it though.
Yeah, no, that's what it looked like last year. There, yeah, you bet.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was a good car. Right? It was top 5, wasn't it?
Yeah, we finished 5th in the rally. You bet.
Yeah, and that's saying a lot. So when we look at the possibility and the potential, not the possibility, but the potential of the Snakebite 125, it's not a stretch to say the top 3 are going to move on to the 300, and those 3 guys are going to be pretty happy to move on to the 300, strip some weight out of the car, and be able to make the changes so that the car can be competitive. I imagine your car would be one of those guys booking for the top 3 in that Snakebite 125.
Well, that's definitely the plan. We want to try and get as many of our late model cars as possible to show up Saturday night and put on a good show for Trevor there as well for the 300. And, that's part of the plan, right? Let's get more cars and let's make them all work together.
Awesome stuff. How many cars are involved today in WESCAR? And I must preface that by saying it's not my first rodeo. I have had WESCAR competitors on. I think back. Now, there was a gap in our coverage that was, I'm going to say, a good 4 or 5 years. But when I think back, they were under either the ARCA banner and ARCA West banner. And, I think of names like Corbin Thomas. That's where I knew Corbin from. I knew the name of, and Carlson, knowing Brandon, that back into those days. And I'll never forget the one trophy for the guys in the one race. And I don't know whether they were racing at Agassiz or what track they were at. But there was a furniture company that came on board and said, guys, we're not giving you no money, but we're going to give you a Lazy Boy chair. And I mean a kick-ass Lazy Boy chair. The winner is going to win that Lazy Boy chair. And what a gift. We were really taken back on Race Time Radio and thought that was too cool.
That was cool. Yeah, that would have been at the Quesnel track, probably at Bill Barker Day's event. And Ashley Furniture was giving chairs, recliners to the winners. Yeah. So this is WESCAR's 23rd year, 22nd season, unfortunately, because of COVID. So we lost a season, but going into the 23rd year now. So, and Corb, you named a few. Mark Barrio's been a 3-time champ of WESCAR. He competed last year in Penticton. Matt Stevenson was obviously in the 300. He's won the WESCAR championship before. Logan Jewell, Corbin Thomas, like you said, 6-time champion. Was in the Rattler last year. So,
14, number 1. I remember all of them now. Now it's all coming back to me.
And like you said, in that 23 years period there, we ran under the ARCA banner for I think 4 years, and then ASA for a couple years as well in there. So
right. I think you said the name Mark Barrio. Man, the number 27 last year. Nobody had harder luck than Mark Barrio did. Come Friday night, he's in the race. It is a qualifier for the 300. I do believe Trev last year qualified the top 12 cars. This year, that line moves, and it's going to qualify 22, I do believe, on the Friday qualifying session. But Mark didn't qualify in the top 12. He had to run what was called the Baker's Dozen. He got in that race, and I'll tell you what, Mark Barrio was checking out. He was gone, and he was doing really good. coming to the final set of quarters. Comes into corner 3. Car got snappy loose on him. Mark powered up, thought he'd drive it through turns 4 and come back to the line, not only winning the race, qualifying for the 300, but it came with a great payday as well for that race. Mark Barrio ended up on his lid on the front stretch, to all of our amazements. That was a tough pill for Mark to swallow. Really tough for us to watch even.
Yeah, it wasn't how we wanted the race to end. I mean, we unfortunately benefited from that and ended up winning that race. Not how we wanted to win it, and I don't think we would have if that didn't happen, because like you said, he was checking out, and we didn't have much for him, but we had a strong second place car for sure in that qualifying race on Friday night. Sorry.
I remember that now too. Yeah, the 34 did go to victory lane in that race. An undertone, and I'm sorry I didn't remember that full-hearted right off the top. All I can remember is that 27 going over, coming through turns 3, 4. It was a scary rollover too. It wasn't like a real gentle little fall over. No, he put her over on his lid there pretty quick. Got up into the catch fence and twisted the car and away he went. But have you heard from Mark? Is he going to be out for the 2023 edition? Do you know?
I'm not sure, but I definitely hope he is. Yeah, we definitely, he's an awesome competitor, and like I said, he's been a past WESCAR champ, and we want to compete against him. And hopefully he's going to make it out this year.
It'd be awesome if he can. How many races make up WESCAR? You'd be the right guy to ask. You're with them. How many races do you guys do, and where do you run those races?
In previous seasons, going back a few years now, we used to do 8 to 9. It's tough being in the north primarily. We don't have that long a summer to have a bunch more races than that. And guys want to have their weekends off and long weekends off, and trying to not to compete with, bigger races like the Canada 200 and the Western Rattler 300. So the last few years we've been doing 6 races, which is what's on our schedule for this year. So we're going to be in Penticton twice this year. The opening and our points finale will be in Penticton. We race in Quesnel, Prince George at Bud Speedway. We're going back to Williams Lake for the first time since 2019 this year. So I'm excited about that. We haven't been back there, and we race in Agassiz as well. So
yeah, no, it's got to be with great disappointment for WESCAR and really all the fans out on the island to see West Shore Speedway gone off the face of the planet. They ran the final 200 there last year. I watched it live on Rev TV. It was a great race. You could see the haves and the have-nots, I got to admit. There was a lot of yellow flags, but in the same respect, it was quite a race. They battled it out at the front. You didn't know who was going to win until the final laps. But it's kind of a shame to see that one go off the schedule now. Keenan, any talk of maybe the 200 surfacing somewhere else, and would you guys want to be in on it?
Well, I mean, we always want to. We've participated in ourselves a few times. Didn't do very good. I think you'd call us a have-not at that race. I don't know what the plan is for the 200. I mean, I definitely hope it continues. I believe it's one of Canada's longest running races, that race, and it's great to have it. It's sad that track is gone. Absolutely. Developments happen and take over racetracks. We see it all the time. Happened, WESCAR used to be a part of the Vernon track, Sun Valley Speedway for years, and that track went away due to developments as well. So, but yeah, if the 300 ever comes back or is coming, or Canada 200 comes back, then definitely would take a look at it for sure.
Wow, kind of cool too. There isn't all lost out on the island. We still have Sarasota out there. Saratoga did it again. Pat will be listening, going, Joe, come on, Saratoga. But kind of nice that we still have that racetrack out there. And by the sounds of it, Pat and his wife, they're going to be very energetic this year in firing that up and getting it back to its glory days.
Yeah, that's great. That's nobody wants to see racetracks go, and when they get more developed and people are putting work into them, like Trevor's doing, that facility is awesome, right? Like everybody sees it and knows it. And what a beautiful track. Bud Speedway just got paved last year, so it's a whole new track as well. which is great because, it definitely needed it. And the guys are doing a lot of work at our local track here in Prince George. So, yeah, want to keep going and keep tracks alive for sure.
Absolutely. I got to do a better job of getting out there and touring around, too. I got to get out and see some of the other speedways. I really look forward to doing that. There's tracks at Williams Lake and Quesnel, like you say, and at Gold Pan Speedway, and there's so many good tracks out there in BC that we need to show some love here on Race Time Radio, to say the least. How's the 34 coming? Do you got it all put together? You still got, 30 days to have it done? How's it coming?
Yeah, it's coming along. We actually just got back from the shop here a couple hours ago to get ready to be on the show here. But the crew is all out there and giving her on it. Probably took more apart today than putting it back together, but it is what it is. It's got to be done, so.
Yeah, it's got to be nut and bolted all the way through, and it usually starts with a full blow off, right? You blow everything off and then start rebuilding the car. Anything changing under the skin of the 34 this year?
Yeah, maybe.
Yep, tight lip. Typical racer. Yep, never show the cards.
Yeah, I don't know if that's good or bad. We the last our points finale for WESCAR was in Penticton last year in September 26th, I think it was. So we ended up actually finishing second to Corbin Thomas in that race. So then you come home and take the second place car apart and change it. So I don't know if that's good or bad or smart or not, but it is. That's what we're doing. So, but we're getting it ready for this for the May 5th and 6th for sure.
How about race teams? Maybe this with, adding the WESCAR on the Friday night and having the Snakebite 125 may attract some guys that maybe don't have that upper echelon pro late model and think, I'm never going to win anyway. I'm not even going to compete with them, so I'm not even going to look at going. But now that this development has come along, hey, maybe there is guys that are going to say, you know what? I'm going to take a shot at this. How did they do that? Did they contact WESCAR? Did they contact you to sort of throw their name into the ring?
The registration is through the Penticton Speedway for the WESCAR event. So just online at Penticton Speedway, they can go on and register. We're trying to get as many guys pre-registered as possible. I've been getting text messages. There's definitely a lot of more interest now that, for the Friday night show, that it is a late model only race from some of our late model guys. So, which is really great. That's what we wanted. That was the goal. And like I said before, we hope lots of these guys stick around and race on Saturday as well and give it a shot. It's $20,000. I mean, you might as well give it a shot. You never know what can happen.
Man, you got to give it a shot. If the race taught us anything last year, if you're not there, I can tell you one thing for sure, you're not going to win. But right. If you're there, honestly, anything can happen. 300 laps is a long, long, long way in a late model car. I don't care if it's, just rolled out of Hemke or rolled out of the top shop. You're going to be in for a long race, and you better know how to manage your tires and do all that. And really, that's where WESCAR, when I look at you guys, Keenan, and I see the 34 car, the 1 meter, I see the 14 car. You guys, the biggest bonus was you guys didn't burn your stuff up. You didn't burn it up. And if you kept the tires under the car and kept the car under the driver, guess what? You're going to end up with a top place finish.
That's right. Yeah. Keep the fenders on them, keep the tires under them. And like I said, you never know what's going to happen at the end of the race. And, you got to be there at the end to take advantage of whatever you need to. So
as a car owner, do you reach into the window net just before the driver drives away and grab the chin strap, make sure it's not too tight?
No, I let him do his thing. I actually crew chief on the car, so that we do have another car owner as well. I just want to put that out there. But I don't. The driver, he does his thing. I don't tell him what to do or how to do it. So
too funny. I used to. There was a couple of drivers in All-Star that they never really did well unless they got fired up when they got in the car. So every now and then I'd walk down the lineup of all the cars before we roll them out onto the track, and I do what was called poking the bear with a stick. And I'd needle two of them, I know for sure. I can't mention them, but I would. They know who they are. And I'll tell you what, they always performed and put a great show on for the fans. It was kind of cool. But sometimes you got to do that to those guys.
Yeah, that's right. Sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been a driver, so I don't know. Sometimes they put their helmets on and they're a whole different world, right? So you just gotta let it go.
Yeah, me too. Never driven. Well, I shouldn't say I've never driven a race car. I have, but not competitive. Well, I've done it competitive. I raced on the track with John Fitzpatrick, but I can tell you, I ran faster scared than he did trying to catch me.
That's right.
Well, he owned both cars.
Back in the day, I did one of those street stock mechanics races, and same thing. I was so scared. I ended up winning it, and I think because I was so scared, I just wanted to get out of there.
Me too. John Fitzpatrick, he ended up, he had some difficulty, and he ended up getting booted out of the track for a couple of weeks. I was the promoter. And John said, no, he's not booting me out. Come on, I'm part of the show. I sponsored the track and stuff. And I said, well, the suspension won't count on the Wednesday Dash for Cash. I'll let you come in and race that night. But the other 2 nights, John, I have to, because what you done, I can't let guys do that. So he said, yeah, okay. So in the meantime, I talked to Mel Preeb that drives the number 23 Cambridge rigging car. And Mel, we used to call him Alabama Mel. He was from Drayton, Ontario, but you would have swore to God he was right down south. Alabama Mel, we call him. And I talked to Mel, and I said, Mel, I got to get in that car one of these days. I'd like to try your car. And he goes, oh, Joe, why don't you try it on Wednesday night? And I said, no, I don't want to race it. I guaranteed I've never raced. I said, but I'd like to try it out. Well, John Fitzpatrick, the owner of the 23 car, as well as his own, John said, hey, Chisholm, I hear you want to go for a ride in the 23 car. I said, yeah. He said, you know I own that car. I said, oh, yeah, I know. Cambridge rigging on the side of it. I knew that. He said, I'll tell you what. You get in the 23 car. I'll get in my car. And if I'll give you a lap start. If I beat you, you forget about the suspension. I said, okay, deal. That's a good idea. And then I turned right to Mel and I said, I don't know what you got to do, Alabama, but you got to teach me how to drive this car fast enough to stay ahead of him. And he said, oh, Joe, I'm going to teach you. I got down to a 16.5 on Wednesday afternoon. And at that time, it was a competitive time. Mel said to me, if you can drive at 16.5 consistently, he said, John ain't going to catch you in 10 laps, so you're okay. Just do it. And the last words Mel said to me, oh, I got to tell you, don't let John catch you, because if he does, John's going to put you over into the golf course. I said, he said he does own both cars. I said, I got it, Mel. Thanks for the encouragement. So, needless to say, I could always run faster scared than John Fitzpatrick could wanting to catch me. But I digress. We had a lot of fun, and I did stay on the lead lap.
There you go.
I wouldn't have if he didn't spot me a lap, but I still did it. Guys behind the wheel, they really have a good time, and that Western Rattler 300 weekend's going to be off the hook.
It's going to be awesome, yeah. Like I said, it's a great facility, and the race they put on last year there was a really good show. It was a lot of fun. 300 laps is crazy. I didn't even know if our car could make it 300 laps, but it did. So, like I said, I hope a lot of these late model guys take a look at that and take a look at that prize money and show up for it, right? So.
Absolutely. Keenan, thanks so much for the time tonight on Race Time. You pinched it perfectly, buddy.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you having me on.
And that is Keenan Mayert. I did get his last name correct, Magnet, right?
Magnet.
I won't forget it now. Thanks, Keenan. Have a good night. Great to see these guys. Much appreciated. And, man, is that ever going to be a race? You don't want to miss it. Penticton Speedway tickets are on sale now. And if you can't make the race, not to fear, Racetime Radio is going to have it all live, flag to flag. Jerry and I and probably a few others will be out there to bring you all the live coverage. Final break of the night. Here we go.
Racetime Radio is brought to you by the Quality Inn, Halifax Airport, the official stay of the Racetime Radio broadcast crew.
Even though Napa is a nationally known name, nearly all of our stores are built from the ground up by local owners and families. People you might call neighbors will be here, there, and everywhere. doing what neighbors do to keep their communities moving forward. Stop by a Napa Auto Parts store. You can count on Napa know-how.
It's Canada's kickoff to 2023 at Penticton Speedway. It's the second annual Western Rattler 300 weekend.
If you build it, they will come.
Friday, May 5th, it's qualifying, plus the Street Stock Viper 100 and the WESCAR Snakebite 125. The top three will qualify and move on to the 300. Then Saturday, May 6th, it's the 300 Last Chance Qualifier, plus the Street Stock Venom 100 and the second annual Western Rattler 300. It's Canada's richest to win pro late model event, with $20,000 to the winner. For tickets and info, get to PentictonSpeedway.com or tune in live on Racetime Radio for live flag-to-flag coverage.
Riley Siebert, the winner. This is my own, not coming here to push me around, and this is probably the biggest win of my career.
May 5th and 6th, the best in the business will be at Penticton Speedway at the Western Rattler 300.
Alexa, play NASCAR radio on SiriusXM.
SiriusXM NASCAR radio from SiriusXM.
Start your engine! Gain access to NASCAR's biggest names.
Martin Truex Jr.
Kyle Busch.
Chase Elliott.
Hear live coverage of every single race.
They're side by side for the win.
It's unfiltered 24/7 NASCAR.
Welcome to Victory Lane.
We got breaking news. Let's go to the hotline.
This is SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90. Listen on the app or at home on devices equipped with Amazon Alexa. Learn more at SiriusXM.com/NASCAR.
Hey everyone, this is World Series champions Lance McCullers Jr. and Carlos Correa. We're excited to announce that our podcast, The Walkout, is now available on SiriusXM.
Each episode, we go inside the world of combat sports, providing hardcore analysis, honest opinions, and top picks for every fight.
If you share the same passion for combat sports as we do, you need to listen to The Walkout.
Episodes are available on the SiriusXM app, Pandora, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Tonight's Racetime Radio is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts Stores, Port Hawkesbury, New Glasgow, and Antigonish, Nova Scotia.
Drivers, start your engines!
Welcome back to the track. Live on Racetime Radio, SiriusXM 167.
And welcome back, everybody, all live tonight on SiriusXM Channel 167, Canada Talks, and hello to everyone on Rev TV Canada throughout the course of the week. Couldn't do it without you. Time is really running faster. Just about at the top of the hour, we got to throw the keys back to Tim at Rev and Scotty back in Toronto and give you guys your channels back and continue on with some great programming, whether it be on SiriusXM or Rev TV Canada. Got a lot of new stuff coming out on Rev TV, and Mike Garrow and his whole staff, Eddie, all of you guys, you deserve a round of applause. I can tell you that. If you haven't got Rev TV Canada yet, you best be getting it. There is going to, it's going to shake you. If you're a motorsports fan, what are you doing? You need Rev TV Canada. Being at the show this weekend, just final comments here, because we are really close to the top. I did pick up some hard copy schedules. Flamborough Speedway, got that one. I got Delaware Speedway. Also got the APC schedule. Got a really neat card from Tim Tolton. Big news. Tim Tolton, driver of the number 3 forever at Full Throttle Speedway and tracks around Ontario. You would have seen him at Flamborough Speed, all the different tracks in Ontario. Tim Tolton's now going to be the race director at Full Throttle Speedway. And I know we're going to get Paul Chapanier on this show. And again, I got to apologize to everybody that I got clips with yesterday at Motorama. And I fouled up the audio. An audio guy making a mistake on the audio. But I wish I could take all the blame, but I can't. It was a camera. So I'm the TV guy now, too. So I got to get good at both, and I promise you that'll never happen again. And all of those guests will be with us at some point or another in real soon time. For Sue, right here in the Racetime Radio studio, I'm Joe Chisholm. And for Tim back in the Rev TV studio, and Scotty back in Toronto, and all the guys at the Performance Motorsport Network.com that tune us in each and every week, Steele and all his guys. Thank you all. Thank you all, and the listeners, viewers, subscribers to our YouTube channel at RaceTimeRadioTV. Can't thank you all. And I got to tell you, we'll be back with you next Sunday at 7 or on Rev TV Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern next week. Don't miss it. Have a good week, everybody. Be safe. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for listening to Race Time Radio. Visit us on the web at www.racetimerradio.com. We hope you'll join us again next time for more Race Time Radio.
Come on now, dig.
Exclusively on your home for the hardcore race fan.
Excellent, buddy, excellent.